Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, men and women, he's and she's, they and theirs. What's happening now?
What's up? What's up?
I think we're having the reversal right here. It's 10:34 a.m. Eastern time zone, and I think we are having a reversal. So that's very nice to see heading into the markets this morning.
A reversal. What time frame? We reversing from down up or up down?
So Bitcoin was downtrending overnight. Ever since that 19,400 where I wanted to short it last night, but was too afraid. We've been downtrending. I didn't short it because I don't want to enter a position and then go to sleep. Anyways, we are possibly reversing from that downtrend. I already see some buy volumes coming in here. I already see some big indecisive candles. So I think Bitcoin and a lot of these cryptos are reversing. And this is going to give us room to head up a little bit.
I don't know just yet because Bitcoin's still looking like it has a lot of sell volume.
So I'm looking, yeah, well, either come up or at least like start some sideways trading up here.
Yeah.
That's how I feel about Bitcoin. And that, just looking across the board, I mean, after that last big drop there, that was the point that gave us that oversold place. And I'll go through, look at a chart specifically on that area as well. Looking at these charts though, like that was a pretty nasty dip, that last dip there. And generally that was fueled from some last bit of liquidations on the Bitcoin side. I'll go through and we're gonna look at Bitcoin on the 1 minute. Just take a look at some of these liquidations. And while I'm doing that, I guess I'm gonna turn off some charts. So this is our Bitcoin chart, and we're gonna look at these liquidations. Yeah, it came through a liquidation block right here for Bitcoin, and we've been liquidating on the way down. This could be the reversal though, or pretty soon. If I look at Bitcoin on the 4-hour chart, oh my god, so many drawings. We're starting to see some double bottoms down here around this price level, so it may be getting a little bit of support for Bitcoin from that drop right here, especially if we start running out of room on those liquidations. Then it could be a potential uptrend for Bitcoin. It's definitely, we don't have the confirmation that we're in a reversal, but it could be coming very soon, because if you look at the hourly, we're already completely oversold. We're literally at 8 RSI. 8 RSI. Whew. And we saw that XRP yesterday as well. It just proves that sometimes you can get a big fundamental, get a 10% price move, and then that 10% turned into 30% overall, and we get another 38% for XRP, then the price would be about 75 cents. Good morning, Edwin. Good morning. I'm looking over here at the chart, and I do see that these liquidations were pretty brutal for Bitcoin, but in my for the chart, I feel like Bitcoin is starting to uptrend though. Buy volume has been coming in, and this is pretty significant buy volume compared to the crypto after dark time. Like some of these candles, we have over 500 volume for some of these candles, and if you flip it down, some of these candles are people buying 70 Bitcoin, they're buying 80 Bitcoin. So I think we could actually push up. Definitely could liquidate these pigs right here all the way up to $18,800 for Bitcoin on the short time frame. Definitely room. And I'm gonna look over XRP because I think XRP let me show you real quick for XRP. So I'll put it this way. This is XRP at the top, and this is gonna be our Bitcoin at the bottom. Since XRP isn't like a garbage token, it's generally gonna follow Bitcoin. So I think XRP is gonna uptrend here as well. And if I had to say something, like, I think this is the area people are accumulating. I think this is the area people are accumulating. I'll do another block for Bitcoin. It's just, this is where we're seeing the buy volume starting to come in. That's worth more than the sell volume. So I'll be right back. I'm gonna leave this on the screen in 1 minute. I have to go check on something. Currently I'm in a ETHW long as well. My entry was at $6.10. And if I look at the ETHW chart, because the DTC was pumping, like DTC hit 112, that's why Bitcoin was suffering today. That's why it's up there. We're gonna look at ETHW. And it may be a little bit early, but we'll see. I'll put this in Discord real quick to share your entries. Okay, so I'm in this ETHW long, and it was at $6.10. Let me draw that on the chart as well. I got in a little bit early. I got in on the sideways. So, and ETHW didn't suffer as much as some of these other coins, but it does some big dips. Like, I think it didn't suffer as much yesterday because we're down like 20 times from the top for ETHW since people pulled profits from day one on ETHW. I'm gonna look over here. DXY is climbing though. My God, like DXY climbing. I told people, I'll say it again. We're gonna go at least to 136 for DXY. So while that happens, sometimes it's pulling on Bitcoin, but sometimes Bitcoin gets that. Let's go ahead and do something right here as well. Let's do this one. Let's add the DXY. But if the DXY keeps pumping, it's gonna make it harder for Bitcoin to rise up. There's only a few moments where Bitcoin pushes with the DXY. Why is ETHW not on Robinhood? It's a good question for Robinhood to answer. Very good question for Robinhood to answer. But if this DXY starts coming down, then Bitcoin's primed to actually rise here. So happy to see that. And then I'll put this in charts channel on Discord before I go do what I need to do. All right, so I was able to get the chart. So we see the DXY is coming down here, and Bitcoin may start breaking out of the buy block XRP as well. All right, so see. If Bitcoin follows the DXY going down, though, that would be very interesting. I want to see it break out of the buy block at least one time up here. Let me check the ETHW chart, more dedicated chart right here. ETHW was already overbought again on the 5 minutes, starting downtrend, but let's just check this real quick. There's a lot of sell pressure here from 524. Yeah, I think ETHW is going to climb in price as well today. I'm not saying it's going to pump to the moon or anything like that, but I think it will be able to climb up in price a little bit. Think about like when you go up a mountain. So think about what happens if you go up a mountain, right? So I think ETHW is uptrending a little bit as well. If everything does uptrend quite well here, but I think DXY has to cool down. DXY definitely has to cool down. XRP is looking a little bit rough here, though. Keep in mind, XRP came up 30% yesterday, so it may not get that momentum that we saw yesterday. Whereas something like Bitcoin or Doge that came up yesterday and did a nice big retrace, they could get bigger momentums once the DXY cools down. And then for ETHW, hopefully ETHW gets a lot of momentum today. So I'm gonna leave the ETHW chart on real quick for you guys. I gotta go do something. I'll be right back in like a few minutes. Not long. Okay, I'm back. I did a poll. Do you guys think ETHW will hit $7 before market closes today? Feel free to give me your opinions on there. And while we have that, while we have ETHW up and everything else, I'm going to switch through. We're going to look at another chart. Looking at the DTC. DTC is still climbing. I do fear after some of these policies we've had come out, I think the DTC can go up to 130. It'd be a nightmare for the stock market. ETHW is still trying to get up here, and while that's happening, if we look over here, I look at Bitcoin and XRP, DTC together, I see that Bitcoin was trying to downturn a little bit here, but still inside this buy block area. We haven't left the buy block area for XRP yet either. No really major breakout so far. The Russell dropped fast. The Russell, man, it's down 2.6%. Let me pull up that chart. Look at the Russell right here. My God. My God. From August 16th until now, we lost over 400 points, basically. If I put it on the 5 minutes chart, we had a falling knife today on the Russell, and whoo. Jesus Christ. That's a big drop. Let's measure this drop on the Russell down today. 3.3%. Let's see if the NASDAQ did something similar. Let's use the, yeah, same thing. NASDAQ as well did something similar. Is this falling knife going to give people a short-term opportunity for scalp? I mean, NASDAQ's about 2% down. And we look at SPY over here as well. The SPY also. Woo. And this is like in a short time frame. So SPY is also down about 2% today as well. Almost 3%. There's people out there that if they see the SPY drop that far, they don't even touch the markets. They sit on the sidelines. And let's go back to that ETHW chart. ETHW is outside of the buy block, which is good. I gotta ping everybody on Discord that we're live as well. So we noticed that the market, in terms of stocks, index funds, those things were coming down this morning. And after they came down, Bitcoin followed. Like, if I put Bitcoin on the 5 minute chart, we see Bitcoin followed. And for the measure move there from Bitcoin until the top to the bottom was about 2.8%. It almost followed these things to the T in terms of percentage. Now, it's very interesting that Bitcoin had these liquidations right here as well, which helped it. And it didn't cascade. It didn't cascade down to 4% drop. It was about 2.8% drop there for Bitcoin. But look at Bitcoin on the 5 minute. We're trending parabolic SA or uptrend, but if the SPY, Russell, and NASDAQ come down even further, Bitcoin's probably going to follow and dip as well. Bitcoin's probably going to follow and dip as well. So let's go ahead and make another chart up here. Yeah, Bitcoin's already def cross right here. Bitcoin is death crossing. And while this is happening, ETHW is dipping back down too. Yeah, so the SPY is pulling down. It's going to pull down Bitcoin. DXY is still not slowing down. We had a brief pause right there. We had a brief pause. And I think this is going to send ETHW back down as well. Sorry, I'm going to be very slow replying to chat today. Definitely looking over a lot of other charts. I'll look at chat when I see things a little bit slower. But the common trend I'm seeing today is that the DXY is pulling upwards still. DXY is pulling up still. So people getting out of ETHW up here as well. People are getting out of ETHW right here. I think the SPY could drop again. SPY could drop again. If you are wanting to trade ETHW, I'll put a link in the chat world, but my God, is it brutal or what? Let's go through. Look at all these together. We really need the DTC to come down. What is this? XRP? XRP is bleeding out.
Yeah, Bitcoin's pulling down the market.
Yeah, well, there's
From the
Bitcoin's following the
DXY, I
main
guess.
markets. The main markets are pulling crypto down. The main markets are pulling crypto down. I mean, these are some big movements. But eventually the DXY will have a cooldown period for about 30 minutes to an hour. And that can give Bitcoin the room it needs to go back up. So, XRP fell the buy block. XRP, keep in mind, it had 30% pump yesterday. So, it's going to go down a lot faster when Bitcoin dips.
Drop it, drop it, drop it.
I mean, the DXY. Woo. I mean, it makes our dollar worth more compared to, like, it means our dollar is worth more than euro and stuff like that, but still. Zeshin got liquidated on his XRP long. You didn't use the stop loss, Zeshin? You have to always use a stop loss when you enter a position. Always. Bitcoin is still inside the buy block area. Might be an area of choppiness that could be forming as well today. But just looking at what we see and seeing stuff like the SPY still coming down after a falling knife pattern, I might add. But keep in mind, this falling knife, it's weird how the SPY can go down like $4 on only 40,000 volume and then not recover. So definitely was a lot of sell pressure. Pre-market, people knew what was up. Like, you have a falling knife in a pre-market. When market opens, people bought the dip on the SPY. It got overbought 370 and then started coming back down a little bit lower. So DXY does look like it actually could be curving down a little bit here. And while DXY is curving down, Bitcoin's getting some breathing room, go back up. XRPs went out of the buy block, back into the buy block from that low quadrant. It's a pretty big spread up here. And while this is happening, ETHW is breaking out again. Curious how long the DXY could cool down for. Gotta keep an eye on international news. Well, maybe not international, just news in general. CNBC says referendums begin in Russian-occupied regions of Ukraine. Long lines form at borders as Russians flee military call-up. Alright, so DXY is coming down. Great. Maybe SPY is uptrending a little bit here too. Alright, so we're still in this buy block for Bitcoin. We haven't broken out yet. We've entered this choppiness zone. No buys, but if the DXY can do like a bigger plunge, or some of this money can be freed up out of the bond market and go back into crypto and stocks, then that would be great. People oftentimes forget how much money is floating around. And even 1% of the currency floating around, like currencies, fiat, 1% of that floating around could make a 10% Bitcoin candle like that. So much money floating around in the markets. All right, so Bitcoin's in this buy block. DXY is coming down. We need the DXY. This is their US dollar currency index, measuring the US dollar against some of the other currencies. And if XRP breaks out of the buy zone today, great. That'd be great. I mean, this is already a big move. Like, our buy zone for XRP is giant. This is a 2% spread. 2% spread on the buy block for XRP. Bitcoin down here is about 1% spread. So definitely a little bit more volatility for XRP. Definitely a little bit more volatility for XRP than Bitcoin. Just received a golden cross again for XRP. Let's look at ETHW. ETHW is still up here. So we notice retail investors were selling right here. The thing about ETHW, I'll tell you the thesis why I think it can go to $7. It's not listed on these big exchanges yet for trading. Coinbase, KuCoin, Robinhood still did not list it on their platform, and I think they will list it because a lot of their clients are going to want that free token, that airdrop. Like, if they were holding 100 Ethereum, they would get 100 ETHW. And that's like $600 right now. They would want that money. They would probably want that money. DXY, SPY. Look at the SPY. The SPY could be uptrending during this lunch hour. Oh. Apple was dropping fast today. Apple did a 1%. A lot of stocks did big drops today. A lot of stocks did big stocks early on in the market, which gave us room to do some of these buy blocks during the lunch hour. So lunch hour buy block isn't a bad thing. If DXY comes up, though, it's going to invalidate the buy block. If you're on futures, you have to definitely set super tight stop losses. If you're on spot trading, you don't have to worry as much. If you guys want to look at Luna Classic, I'll pull up Luna Classic as well. It's taken a long time to burn Luna Classic, and here's what I don't like about Luna Classic. So we saw the markets did about a 3% drop on some things today, whereas Luna Classic did a 19% drop. So Luna Classic 19% drop. It's as people taking profits up here, realizing that it may come back to their entries.
So the burn didn't really help out too much, did it?
It didn't start yet as much. It's super early for the burn. I mean, over time, it's going to get rid of supply and the price can appreciate. But until then, people that are impatient will, like me, I was impatient. I took profits. I took profits way above here on Luna Classic. But look at this candle right here. 72 billion volume. And we had a big candle like this because it's very easy for people to get liquidated on Luna Classic. So, man, this took a lot of cash from the Luna Classic bulls. But if Luna Classic does what I think it will do, I don't even need it on the futures. I really don't. If the supply is able to be burned. But after the tats went through, people saw that the trading volume dropped by over 500%. So Luna Classic, it's a little bit risky. Like, for example, from this price to this price, if you were long 5 times at 27, expecting it to bounce up, then you would be liquidate right here. And this happens in like seconds. So you would have been liquidate right there. And then as people got liquidate, like from the bottom to this pump, it moved up 23%. 19% dropped down, 23% up. So people that try to short it right here 5 times, they were also liquidate. So very brutal for Luna Classic because it can do those big 20% moves. And if it can do 20% moves, then you're probably not comfortable using 5 times leverage. Overall, it's down 7% from that drop up there. I don't really want to draw a buy block for Luna Classic. I see it is well below this moving average and people may be accumulating, but if the SPY drops down again, then Luna Classic potentially could do another 20% drop, which is scary. Now, I'm more comfortable with ETHW, these buy blocks, sell blocks, showing you guys where people buying and selling. I'm very comfortable showing where people buying and selling like ETHW, but people buying and selling Luna Classic is way too volatile. We're going to have blocks all over the place. Blocks inside of each other. ETHW is breaking out. Wow. ETHW is at $6.35. Is this the breakout candle? Because if I look at everything else across the board, it does look like we're still inside of buy blocks for XRP. People are still buying up Bitcoin. And the DXY was downtrending, but it possibly uptrending a little bit. Let's go back to ETHW though, because I do have in the stream title that ETHW is on the way to $7. And I'm very firm that maybe today or over the weekend, I hope it's over the weekend, that would be more impactful, but then it's going to be listed on another exchange, which should be good. Like when Ravencoin was listed on KuCoin, it helped it grow a lot. On the 16th, KuCoin did say that they are going to support the airdrop and give the ETHW to the Ethereum holders. They already had a snapshot, so that's good. Yeah, I think KuCoin will list it. They already did the airdrop, so I'm pretty sure they're going to list it. And if ETHW breaks out, great. The pros and cons compared to ETHW is that ETHW could be listed on some more exchanges, whereas Ethereum is already on almost every single exchange known to man. So that listing on exchanges, and when you have more than one exchange that it's not listed on, like Robinhood. Ooh. So I'm watching ETHW. I want to see if it will hit $7. I took profits on ETHW a while back at like $10.50, and even after I took profits, there's a lot of people that took profits a long way down too. Keep in mind, airdrop. You get something for free, airdrop, you're probably going to take profit. We saw this numerous times with a lot of cryptos. When HETS did the airdrop for all the Bitcoin holders, and a lot of those Bitcoin holders dumped their HETS. Price dirt cheap. Like, super cheap. Cheaper than what we see for Luna Classic price now for HETS. But then eventually it rose to above 45 cents for HETS as more and more people started buying it, and now the price is holding above 3 cents. So, way more than Luna Classic price. Ethereum W. We saw a price spike as high as over $118 because there wasn't much trading volume and people, I guess they were using market trying to buy up all the ETHW in the beginning, but they didn't count on the fact that the airdrop wouldn't happen. So I'm going to go back to my buy block page. I see that XRP already broke out, which is good. So XRP broke out of the buy block. I think XRP is still going to run towards 75 cents eventually, but keep in mind we had to have this dip before we could even get closer to that 75 cents. Get the dip, build higher supports, and then push up higher. As we get closer and closer to the end of the XRP lawsuit, definitely 75 is within the boundaries. So everything's starting to look pretty decent for the charts for people trading. Like people that accumulate down here, these retail investors that accumulate in this buy block are now in big profits. Like let's see the spread from the middle of the buy block up to here. It's up 2%. So if they did 5 times leverage, they're up like 10%. If they did spot trade, even at the middle here, if they average in the middle of the buy block, they're up about 2%. If they bought at the absolute bottom of the buy block on that support, they are up about 3%. If they were impatient and, well, not impatient, if they waited until we broke the buy block and bought at the very top of the buy block, they're up about 1%. So XRP is still very well for trading, but you have to set your risk parameters. You have to set your stop losses and everything. And with that being said, ETHW, it broke out of the buy block. There was some people that took profits up here, but in our buy block for ETHW, it was a little bit more different than the buy block for XRP, because we see right here in our buy block for ETHW, we hit the bottom one time, a few times, the top, multiple times as well. So there's way more choppiness for ETHW in the buy block, but it exploded. So if I do this measure from the bottom of the buy block to the current price, it's up already 6%. So ETHW definitely outperformed XRP there. But keep in mind, XRP already did a big pump. ETHW is new. ETHW has the potential to be listed on exchanges. So I still think we're going to go $7 for ETHW. I think $7 ETHW is a lot easier to get than 75 cents XRP, just because ETHW, if it gets listed on KuCoin or something today, great. I don't hold Doge on Mars, brother day. I don't hold it. And I think Bitcoin's breaking out of the buy block here, finally. Oh yeah, look at the DXY, guys. DXY is actually nicely downtrending, like nice confirmation of that downtrend. So Bitcoin is trying to break out of the buy block up here. It's already touching the top of the buy block. We didn't touch the bottom per se for Bitcoin, but we came close. And I could have went through and drew this for a bunch of other cryptocurrencies, but I did Bitcoin because it's #1. I did XRP because it's in the video title. I think we are going to hit that 75 cents on XRP pretty soon with the lawsuit direction. And then I didn't draw a buy block for DXY because it's just a dollar currency index. There's no buy block for that. It's a measurement per se. And I'm looking at XRP up here. And we broke out of the buy block, but it could very well, come back inside the buy block. That's why people have their stop losses and stuff as well. If you guys like this type of content, this stream, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I try to stream as often as I can when I'm not busy. Let's go back to ETHW. ETHW is still up here, $6.42. And man, if I look at ETHW on the 4-hour, eventually I want to see us above this all-time high of 14. But we're going to need a few exchanges to list it, like Coinbase, KuCoin, and they need to stagger. It's very important they stagger at least 8 hours apart and don't all list at the same time for us to get up at these levels and hold. Now, for the longer term 4-hour choppiness block, we're right here. We're not like halfway, but we're a little bit above halfway for the choppiness block for ETHW. We've hit the bottom one time at $4. We hit the top up here, $7.50. A lot of people are trying to get that double bottom at $4 and some change if they really can on ETHW. That's what they're hoping for. But in this current time, some people may be considering taking profits at $7.45. Or even $7.28 if we run up here for ETHW. But if you're spot trading it, keep in mind how far the price could run if it is listed on KuCoin, Robinhood, Coinbase. It's always nice when a cryptocurrency is listed on Robinhood because those people cannot do the futures trading on Robinhood. They can only buy and sell. So on the 4-hour chart, we do have some, I'll draw it down here, like strong support at $4. I'll just say support. So $4 and then resistance at $7.50. And this is on my, based off the 4-hour chart. So we do have resistance at $7.50. We do have support at $4 for ETHW. This is irrelevant. This was a scalp I did a while back. I went long at 973, closed it at 1050. Let's keep in mind, like right here for ETHW, like let's delete this. Like this is an old trade. Keep in mind that these candles are 4 hours each. They take 4 hours to form, and let's spread it out so we can have more time. But if we notice right here, I think this sweet spot of $5.80, we've hit it most frequently out of these candles, $5.80. So our very short-term support maybe be around that $5.80. But keep in mind, as people get liquidate, sometimes we get these wicks down. What's up, crypto abuser? Are you talking about Axie Infinity? They have some problems fundamentally. I'll look at the chart for you, buddy. Bitcoin is still at the edge of the buy block here. It's getting ready to break the buy block, I believe. XRP is already out of the buy block. And the SPY's uptrending, which is what we needed today. So uptrending during lunch hour is not a bad spot to uptrend for the SPY. I'd rather we uptrend a little bit lunch hour, maybe get a little bit of a dip before power hour, and then do a big rip power hour than after market heading into the weekend. It could give Bitcoin room to go back up to that $20,000 price range. Yeah, the SPY, wow. The SPY is actually getting some pumpity, guys. Who is giving them this much dollar bills? My God. Look at the DXY. That's who. It's not giving them money. Like, they're pulling money out of other places, like the bond market. All right. I'll look it up. Bitcoin just broke out of the buy block, YouTube. And as Bitcoin broke out of the buy block, XRP is climbing a little bit higher as well. XRP is climbing a little bit higher as well. So this is good. Yeah, Femit's adding ETHW would be good too, Pepin. So I'll look at 8XS, but I don't like it. They have some big problems. And I'm trying to find a chart where I can do it. I mean, Lunar Classic. So AXS it's trying to uptrend around $12. But if I look at this thing on the daily, like there's been hacks and stuff along the way, but my God. It's down a lot compared to things like Bitcoin or Doge from the top. AXS is down like almost 92%. 92%. On the daily, like I don't trade this. I would not trade this one. And if we look a little bit at the supply and everything for AXS, we get pumps like this, but there's other coins that get pumps as well that you can trade a little bit safer. This was a 12% measure move up from the 21st. So about 2 days, we are up 12% versus something like XRP or ETHW, Dogecoin. Like Doge does really well. Like if I look at Doge on a similar time frame from the 21st. So Doge from the 21st. Doge from 21st until now is already up 8%. So I think Doge is a little bit safer to trade rather than AXS. All right, so the buy signal popped in on this 5 minutes as well after breaking out of the buy block. We had this big and decisive candle right here for ETHW, but I want to remind you guys that as a cryptocurrency is edging closer and closer to being listed on an exchange, sometimes the chart patterns they don't really help you out, especially if you only have like if you have less than like a month's worth of data, the patterns aren't going to help you out. Spacely says if we all traded the same thing, I don't think so, Spacely. Like people trading the same cryptocurrencies. Like even in my Discord, I could go to my Discord right now and show you that like a lot of us trade some similar cryptos, but our entries are different. For example, I go right here. Rob was shorting Ethereum back here. While somebody was going to short Bitcoin. They got stopped out hard because they used high leverage. But yeah, people like in my Discord, like we have 3,000 members. I'm just looking through share entries. And I see like lots of different entries that people took around the same time. So like if you hover over a message, you can get the time. Like this was at 6:42. And some people also hedge their bets. Some people go long and short on different currencies. When I went long on ETHW, I posted as well when I closed at 1050 because at 1050 I thought it was going to come down. But even after I closed my long at 1050, there were people that bought Ethereum W at $10. But looking at ETHW right here. Woo. All right, let's see DXY. Isn't this a beautiful lunch hour seeing the DXY go down? XRP may be coming down a little bit, like it's not getting those big pumps. It's cooling down. Bitcoin could probably re-enter the buy block. It would not surprise me. But if the DXY gets another push down, then it would be a lot better. Let's start flipping over here. And I have the 30-second chart because everything's moving quite slow this morning. Yeah, Bitcoin already has parabolic SAR downtrend on the 30, but the volume's only like 147 so far, 150. And I'm going to watch ETH because I think it's going to go to $7 pretty fast compared to XRP going to 75 cents. So Tron versus Tron coin. I think if you see something called Tron coin, it might be a scam. The real one is called Tron, Larry McGuire. So I'll give you the nominate page for the real one. You can go through and investigate. I'll put it in chat, Larry. But I don't want to go through it too much. For Tron. Spies was losing a little bit of that momentum here. That's why Def Cross, but whew. Let's see how far ETHW can actually push up. So Bitcoin's still outside the buy block. SPY is still technically uptrending, but my computer keeps getting these alerts. And then I got news articles talking about how the NASDAQ, the Russell, everything's down super fast, dropping today. But in good old ETHW, like looking at the charts like this side by side. Let me hide my camera. Keep in mind, XRP is on the bottom right, ETH is on the top right, Bitcoin top left, Doge bottom left. Everything looks like it's doing a nice little bounce. And I came on the stream earlier and let you guys know that we're probably bouncing. And I did mention specifically 18,800. That's where Bitcoin would probably go for those liquidations. Anything above here, like we don't have a lot of gas for Bitcoin, but buy signals trying to pop in. Hopefully we can recover to that 18,900 before we dropped on Bitcoin. That would be good for Bitcoin. But after we get past this little gap up here, we get 19,100 again. We have liquidations that can bring us over the $20,000 price mark over the weekend. So if you're shorting Bitcoin here near the bottom on this pump, keep in mind that we do have room to go over $20,000 over the weekend. All right, ETHW is pushing up here. ETHW is pushing. So what we're seeing here for ETHW, we had this choppiness. We had the buy block. We touched the bottom. We touched the top. Broke out. Came back down all the way to the bottom. And then broke out of the buy block for ETHW. If I look at ETHW on the 15-minute charts, and I actually tried to draw a downtrend on the 15 minutes from our last recent big pump where we had over 7 million volume on a 15-minute candle, I can see that we started slowly breaking that downtrend at the moment in time where our buy block and people started taking profits collided. And then our golden cross came just a candle before. So when we broke this downtrend here for ETHW, now we're starting to watch this uptrend for ETHW today. I still think we can go to that $7 price range for ETHW. We're really far out of the buy block now. ETHW is like, woo, buddy. And Bitcoin just gained another $40 per coin there. It's way above that. It's more than we could ask for. And as this is happening, the DXY is coming down. So everything broke out of the buy block today. XRP, Bitcoin, Doge. I don't really bother with Doge too much because I'm still holding Doge. I have a big Doge position that I've been holding. And I don't want to sell it under 21 cents. So I'm holding that Doge a little bit longer. But we got to keep in mind, if this DXY does uptrend, this is a good pump. So let's say if somebody bought the very top of the buy block here, they got scared, they sold, they bought at the very top. They are now only up about 5%, and that's on spot. 5% on a 10 times, they're up 50%. 5% on 2 times, they're up 10%. So we're definitely getting more consistent buys for Ethereum W here. And look, I think a lot of people that got the airdrop, they already transferred to an exchange where they could sell. or they swapped it on a Uniswap or something. Now, when it starts getting listed on KuCoin, Coinbase, Robinhood, that's going to allow more people to buy it that wanted to buy it. So from a fundamental, I think people are actually going to be buying it more than selling it if it is listed on Coinbase and KuCoin. Now, that's saying get the prices at this level when it's listed. If it's already like listed on KuCoin and the price goes to 20, then maybe we get some sell pressure when it's listed on Coinbase. Like if the price like does a big like 300% run up, yeah, we'll get sell pressure. But at current price or like inside this buy block at $6, if we were listed on KuCoin at $6, the price could automatically run up to $7 very fast. I try to use Nomics for that coin, Larry McGuire. Don't even know the circulating supply, buddy. And volume's less than 7 million US dollars. I don't trade cryptocurrencies in and out if their volume's that low unless it's HETS, because the arbitrage is so big. But you got $7 million on some of these cryptocurrencies, it's not worth getting in and trying to get stuck. So we're going to take a break from the ETHW chart real quick, guys. And let's look at everything else together. DXY is coming up a little bit, so be concerned about that. And while that's happening, it could pull Bitcoin down a little bit. All right, so DXY just got the buy signal again. DXY got the buy signal. This may mean Bitcoin and a lot of these other things could be coming down. I mean, even if they take profits up here, this is pretty good. Like, this is huge. Like, even at the top, like, this is a 5% profit for XRP. If they bought at the middle of the Bitcoin block, which we hit multiple times, and it's about a 1% profit. Not that bad. So, we're seeing the DXY actually uptrending again.
What's up, Jay?
Hey, what's up? I'm watching a lot of these charts right now. What are you doing?
Nothing, man. Just pulled it up. I got a question for you. Something you might you might be interested in. Just kind of wanted your take on it.
Okay,
Rumble, the app. Like it's like YouTube or whatever.
I've heard about it.
They just their SPAC went through Monday. So now ticker RUM. I'm in it, trading it a little bit. I've just been kind of holding it, but there's no volume on it at all. But I noticed that when the price spiked, it spiked 39% on, but the volume was only 10 million on a 40% move.
Yeah, whatever people sell those original stocks for, that's where the price is going generally.
Yeah. It just seems like it gets pretty volatile movement with under relatively low volume.
Anything's going to be like that. Low volume is going to be a little bit volatile, because that means any buys or sells along the way can move it.
Right. So do you think that if somebody if it does start to pick up and get volume, it would move pretty fast, and if it actually becomes more traded, I guess. It's been holding on pretty damn good. It's at 1291, and it's been in between 11 something and about 1150 and 1370 for the last week, which is pretty big moves.
So I'm using a measurement right now. From the top to right now, it's already down almost 25%.
Right.
But from the very bottom, during the IPO day, like on the IPO day, like on the 19th, from that bottom, it's only up about 9%.
Yeah. I did pretty good on it, and then of course wasn't paying attention to it.
So what does that put the market cap?
I don't know. Where is the market cap?
You want to know market cap if you're trading anything.
3.6 billion right now.
Oh, are they worth 3.6 billion? Big billions?
I don't know. Not yet, at least not to me, because I mean nobody knows about them, and their app needs so much work.
Billion,
But
that's
I
a
do
lot of
believe
money.
in them. Yeah, really, that's what I was thinking. And of course, they signed Matt Kors onto the. Well, he's not on it, but he did their whatever opening at the Nasdaq yesterday with them.
Oh yeah, that's totally like just an influencer on the opening. A little bit weird.
Yeah, exactly.
Like the Dave Valinsky from Ukraine, the opening bell. People just dumped their whole portfolios and walked away. They're like, all right, I'll come back to the stock market next year, guys. Peace out. So they got to be very careful about that opening bell stuff.
Yeah, no doubt. Which I mean, it wasn't. I'm not too far off of it. I bought in at like 13.30, so I'm kind of just debating on taking a little cut for the weekend and waiting to see what next week does. I definitely didn't expect the SPY to fall into the 360s when I woke up this morning. I was like, oh, okay.
I wish we could change our tax laws for stocks so that we don't force people to pay those high capital gains if they really want to get out and protect themselves.
Yeah.
I think these capital gains are an attack on people because look, what if we're going to have really bad news come out over the weekend? It could be a tradition for people to take profits every Friday if we did not have that 35% capital gains tax.
Yeah. I just kind of take it with a grain of salt. I mean, if I got to pay it, I got to pay it. But I'm not going to.
I would set a stop loss.
Yeah, true.
It's not worth $3.6 billion.
No, it is not. But yeah, I wanted to get your take on it.
Yeah.
I've been in it, like I said, I've just been holding it. I've been watching it go up and down because I haven't really been in. I don't know, trading it this week.
But let's do some math here. If it's like 3 point something billion, that's really only 1% of Facebook. And we saw the same thing with DWAC. People were trying to say, oh, it's only 1% of DWAC's market cap. I meant DWAC was 1% of Facebook market cap. But look at DWAC market cap now. It went from 3 billion all the way down to like $583 million. So a lot of these things fall in the stock market coming down. And I'm not calling DWAC like a shit stock or like a shit coin. But these things that are not really fundamentally, if they're not like really big blue chips, if the SPY, NASDAQ, Russell come down, DXY goes up, these stocks that have less blue chip value are going to do the bigger drops. Think of DWAC and Rumble as the Luna Classic of the stock market. You may see Facebook drop 2%, but these stocks could drop like 8%.
Right. Apparently, its numbers are they're projected or they're on par with TikTok's growth year over year so far.
Buddy. I can grow. I don't care about growth. Tell me about the profits.
Yeah, I know. No, I feel you. I'm not like trying to push it or nothing. It was just a trade for me.
Mm-hmm. It doesn't look favorable in my opinion.
Yeah, it did at first when it came out, but man, there's no volume. I mean, like none.
So tell me,
it looks like crap.
Tell me, when can the insiders sell their stocks? When can they dump it on the market?
I don't know. What would that be? I mean, would that not give them? What's the deal with whenever you release or whenever you merge?
That's in the following. That's the first thing you should have checked. The first thing before you bought that stock, the first thing you check: when can insiders dump it?
Yeah, I definitely didn't go that far into it.
Go research it and check that because if they can dump it next month, my God, you would be in trouble.
Where would I look up that?
Just Google when can insiders sell their stock. It's in the SEC filing.
All right.
I would look it up for you, but I'm very busy with the crypto stocks.
No, you're good.
Cryptos charts right now. Watching the SPY bleed back down. DXY is uptrending again, and as it's uptrending, ETHW receiving sell signal down here. And if I look at ETHW, like compare it to these other cryptocurrencies, I can see like Bitcoin, all of these things maybe like coming back to the buy block soon. A lot of people were able to take profits at a decent spot this time for XRP, and it'll probably come back in a buy block if the DXY does continue this uptrend. But looking at ETHW definitely after that pump up, it does want to kind of follow Bitcoin on this downtrend. Definitely interesting.
I can't believe the DXY is at 112.
I think it's going to go all the way to 136. I think the 136 is that.
You think we're gonna hit that top?
Down. And
where's that from? How far does that go back? 136 is that?
Don't look at the charts on the back and try to. It's different. It's different. We have way more money on the markets now. We have way more like. Look.
So comparing like 2 decades ago is just irrelevant.
It's irrelevant because Europe printed a lot of their capital. America printed a lot of their fiat money. So it's a completely different. People are even taking profits up here for ETHW as well. So let's see if ETHW comes back in a buy block. But I think if it comes back in a buy block here, it would retest. It would retest this downtrend, and might be a little sweet spot right here. I would not want to buy it at the top of the buy block, but this is an interesting corner right here, touching the downtrend, retesting the downtrend while inside this buy block. And I'm going to step away from charts for a few minutes while I'm watching Bitcoin and stuff. It's very interesting. That's why I was trying to uptrend. Stop. I'm trying to think about what cryptocurrency I wanted to get into.
What site would I go to find that filing, Tim?
Check the SEC filing. And just Google it.
Just Rumble SEC filing?
Yeah. For their IPO date. It's going to be like a ton of pages. Control F is going to be your friend. Control F, search those keywords.
What does that do?
Control F on your keyboard, you can search specific words.
Oh, okay.
Doge looks pretty strong on the hourly. Like Doge looks pretty strong on the hourly. Haven't really had an Elon tweet in a while either. On the 4 hour though, when it was overbought, it was coming down. So SPY's still coming down as well. ETHW looks like it's coming down. I want to see if it hits this gold. Be an interesting spot for ETHW. I think spot trading this is the way. Because look at this. Middle of the buy block up until that sell signal is like 5% movement for ETHW. We saw something similar for XRP, that 5%. So spot trading even 5%, you have no chance of liquidation. But for Rumble, I don't like it on the chart.
Yeah, it looks pretty bad.
Their biggest candle is 115,000 volume. People are gonna dump it.
Yeah, I'm with you on that.
Every time it spikes up 17, they're probably gonna push it back to 12. They're gonna take their profits. Some of these people probably have stocks where the value is like $1 or less, like maybe 30 cents per share. So maybe even like 5 cents per share. Some of these insiders value. So put that in perspective. I don't really want to. XRP is following Bitcoin on this dip. Like SPY is actually bleeding again.
How is XLM tied to XRP? Or are they?
I don't know, just market sentiment.
Okay, because their charts they've been trading hand in hand for the last week.
I'm gonna put it on these charts. I'm gonna step away for a second, and I have a poll. Do you guys think ETH will hit $7 before 4 p.m. Eastern? Go ahead and vote yes or no, YouTube, and give me a moment. Wait. Shin says, "Told you RSI useless, newbie." What? RSI is not useless. So if I look right here for the SPY RSI, I saw that the SPY RSI was overbought already on the 13th of September. A lot of my friends in real life have been out of their index funds September. And right here, the SPY is oversold. So I think eventually we could get some bounces back up on the SPY. So it takes time. It doesn't happen like within 1 second of being oversold. It takes time. So Monday morning could be interesting depending on what kind of news comes out. But RSI, like sometimes RSI can be very invalidated, especially on coins where they have a big fundamental or stock. Like let's say an airplane flies into 2 buildings. Pretty sure the stock price of that airplane company is going to go down. Even if the RSI is already like oversold, it's going to go down. ETHW has a def cross and then popped up 1 minute. So we're going to see if it'll test down. DXY is still downtrending, but that SPY is oversold. Over the weekend, I think we could possibly see Bitcoin 20,000 if there's no really bad news coming out. And I'm gonna when I come back, I'm gonna try and map out like a decent entry for a trade. Let's see. I'm trying to get it on all the charts combined before I step away. All right. DXY like it's still coming down. I think Bitcoin can go up even while the SPY is coming down if the DXY is coming down. Very big possibility. All right, I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. I think it's very risky going into IPO stock when the market is in a downtrend. Super risky.
Yeah, it was only supposed to be fast. It was just you know me. Well, I mean, you probably know me by now. My risk is a little bit too heavy.
So Bitcoin's back in the buy block, YouTube. We broke out a buy block for like a decent time. Came back in. DXY is uptrending. XRP still didn't come down into the buy block too far. We're still waiting on that before we see that DXY downtrending again. So definitely it's worth sitting on the sidelines sometimes, not forcing a trade. If you guys want to trade ETHW, I'll put that referral link in the chat. It's on METC. And here's
How you liking it?
Here's the platform. Yeah, I like it pretty well. Like
You do?
Yeah.
I downloaded the app. I haven't done anything with it yet though.
It has some pretty cool features, and I like it because like I was going to use FIMETs, but they didn't have ETHW on there. They were kind of lacking, so I was like, all right, I'll do ETHW on this platform, and got my account and everything set up, funded.
I had BitGet on. I mean, I had ETHW on BitGet the other day too, but I saw where you were talking about MEXC.
There are times when Bitcoin, the DXY, and everything goes up in America. Say, for example, if the government prints some money but gives it out to people, they end up generally buying stuff like stocks. I don't want to buy Bitcoin at the top of a buy block. Usually closer to the bottom I can get it, the better. Like some people have orders. If their orders don't fill, they adjust it. Once they see like a dip like right here, the dip here, all right, they'll adjust their orders. XRP already hit the bottom of the top multiple times of the buy block since it's so volatile. And for ETHW, like, looks like we're dipping. We came close to the 200 EMA. We didn't touch it yet, but generally, like on the hourly, I think we're way above. Like we're on the hourly, we're still like near the top level of the buy block, but $4. Good support, $4 for ETHW. Resistance, $7.50. $3.50 price difference. Huge for ETHW.
Does MEXC have any bot style trading on there?
They have like a copy feature for trading and stuff like that.
Oh, they have the okay.
I mean, let's see. Usually if I do a trading bot, I don't do it on an exchange. I do it on an API platform. They do have copy trading.
I saw, BitGet has that. What do you take? What's your take on that?
I'm not gonna copy. Like,
I mean, I'm not doing it, but
somebody could screw over. Like, if they get a lot of people copying them, they could just dump something and then shorts and.
right.
Woo.
Yeah, I was like, what is this again? Copy trades.
Sorry, Colony. For Bitcoin right now, I think Bitcoin is technically downtrending on a very short time frame, but over the weekend we could probably see $20,000 Bitcoin again. Now, there's people that have already been shorting Bitcoin if you watched yesterday's stream since $19,400. That's a big price difference between now, so there are people that are taking profits on their shorts, and some people are out there, they took profit on their shorts like now. Either they're going to go long or they're going to sit on the sidelines until market closes to see that sentiment. If market closes green, then potentially we could see some uptrend. I like METC though. The platform so far. My fee wasn't like super high on like some of these trades. Huh?
Yeah, I noticed on BitGet recently or I don't know if it's like that all the time, but spot trading fees are 0.
We're still uptrending again on ETHW here. I'm watching ETHW here, and we gotta watch the SPY as well. But if I look at the SPY, like it was downtrending. This is the even on that falling knife we had earlier for the SPY. People didn't want to touch it. Like when you're messing with people's pension funds and you see a falling knife, you don't want to buy that falling knife. XRP is still out of the buy block.
You see Robinhood put USDC on there?
I don't know why they list a stable coin.
I have no clue. It's like you don't even use it on there.
All right, so I see like ETHW right here. It was oversold. It came from overbought to oversold very fast down here at like $6.26. I really want to see this thing go to $7. That's what I would be interested in. DXY was still steadily uptrending. We're far above the buy block here. Like this current price from the about the middle of the buy block is about 4% up. So that's how volatile we are. Even at the very top of the buy block, we're up 2.5% for Ethereum proof of work, ETHW.
Oh, hey, so I noticed on my KuCoin account from when it got hacked that time,
Yeah.
I guess they froze somehow or another. Like I haven't logged into it forever, other than the other day. It's the first time, and I noticed there's still like $120 something on there, but it's like you can't do anything with it. It's in Tether. How do I get them to unfreeze that?
I don't know. You have to, I guess, prove to them that you got your account back.
Yeah. I didn't think they actually caught it because I told them to freeze it, but I thought I was too late at one point, but I guess they caught that last little bit.
Definitely have to tell them to unfreeze it.
Yeah.
Sometimes it takes time.
Yo. This big boss hog, Jimmy Joe, Jim Bob.
Jimmy Joe, Jim Bob, good to see you, bro.
What's going on out there, man? What's going on with Bitcoin?
It's making its way downtown.
This is where I buy, or? That Ethereum stuff's complete, huh? The full merge 2.0.
Yep. Ready for its new life.
And what do we do now? What do I do with my hands?
What do you You don't know what to do. You just got to hold them in the air, kind of crossways.
Sorry, straight up, we're not at any good entries for these cryptos right now. So sit on your hands and watch the charts. Like if you're just getting your computer, watch the charts for a good 1 to 2 hours before you make a decision. Bitcoin's in the middle of this short-term buy block though, and emphasis on short-term. And the DXY is getting a little bit of a downtrend here.
Was that a triple bottom on the 4-hour Bitcoin?
We look at Bitcoin. Depends on the candles, but yeah, relatively close to triple bottoms. And then we have a big double bottom at $18,139. I just know that if the SPY does another big falling knife today, we'll hit this double bottom on Bitcoin, and we'll edge closer to that $18,000. SPY is still downtrending on the 5-minute chart. Like since our falling knife at 374, we're still down significantly on the SPY. So it's down roughly about 2% so far, 2.15% for the SPY.
Hey, how do I look up the SPY?
The ticker is SPY on TradingView. So, yeah, do the math here.
You think we're going to break 362 by next week? Or you think we're going to have another little bit of a relief rally?
So we could do that today if there's another falling knife, another big sell-off heading into the weekend if people are anticipating bad news. All right, so the SPY actually has some sell here, so that's great. Now I can actually possibly do a Bitcoin play. Bitcoin doesn't move as much though. Bitcoin doesn't move as much. I think Bitcoin could be uptrending again here if the SPY is coming down.
Oh, I see Ethereum Classic finally broke below the 30s.
Yeah. ETH Classic was like gonna follow Ethereum. I'm looking at ETHW though. It is definitely not following Ethereum on the charts, and ETHW, once it gets listed on exchanges and then we get more trading volume and stuff, then maybe later on follow stuff like Bitcoin.
Do you think it's gonna? Do you think once it gets listed, do you think it's just gonna like follow, like get heavy volume for just a little bit, price uptrend? I mean, what do you think the long term effect or deal with these W will be like?
Oh, long-term price would probably be above $6.
Above 6?
Yeah. If more and more people go to ETHW and build projects on there, yeah.
Yeah. So it's still the same coin, right, as ETH was originally?
No, it's not.
It's not. Okay.
They got rid of the difficulty at the end, that bomb. That's one big thing. DXY is still uptrending. I think people have been shorting stocks and crypto while this DXY has been uptrending on the daily. Like if you look at DXY on the daily, you're gonna be like, wow. Still no downtrend on the daily. Like no big reversal pattern for DXY.
Yeah, the daily.
And we consistently keep making higher lows. So until we print like a lower low and fall under 200 EMA, which is at like 103 now, we are still suffering on the crypto side. But looking at all the, like ETHW, it's like bleeding back out. I think it can bleed back into this block and then bleed into the buy zone. And it could even actually break back into a downtrend again for ETHW. It did some pretty good moves today.
See, SHIB's still trying to hold on to that one. Struggling.
If you look at Doge actually looks pretty well in the 4-hour compared to a lot of these other cryptos.
Dude, Doge to me has been doing great. I mean, I've been holding on to a little bit for the last couple of weeks, and man, if you can get in anywhere between like below 5.9, it seems like you could have made profit.
People think that Elon may be buying the dips. That's why it's holding up a little bit better. There's no proof of it though. We don't know his exact buys. I'm definitely keep getting like news articles coming out talking about some of the Russell and stuff dropping though. So XRP came back in this buy block, and I think for this scalping area, this buy block may even no longer become a buy block if the price continues to drop. Like if this buy drops lower, then this buy block would probably be invalidated. ETHW is still coming down. That's a big pump up for ETHW. So anytime an asset goes up 5%, you ideally want to see it cool down before you purchase, and that's what's happening. Retail traders are waiting for that cool down. They're not going in at the top.
Yeah, the Russell 2000 did just have a little bit of a letdown on the 1 minute.
2% on the Russell is always big because it's a lot of cash.
Yeah.
2% on anything over $1 trillion. Like these $1 trillion markets are big. 40% on something like Facebook was big. All right. What is this, 40? How? But yeah, I'm watching Bitcoin here. If the SPY and everything does start coming around like at 4 p.m., great. If it doesn't, then we could see 18,000 Bitcoins. So I think a lot of traders are going to wait until market close to get back in crypto today, if they're not already shorting. And the people that are already shorting, they're either going to keep their short open until the market close, or they're going to take profits if the SPY starts turning around before market close. There's people that been shorting Bitcoin since like 40K that are up in profit a lot. But the dollar, DXY, so many people going to bonds, interest rates getting higher and higher. So if the interest rate's getting higher and higher, typically people want to have dollars. Because here's the logic. If the interest rate's going higher and higher, then you're going to have less people borrowing money, which is sustaining the stock market, sustaining the crypto market. As less people borrow money, then people will start taking profits until that interest rate goes a little bit lower again. Like our biggest rally for Doge when we was very low interest rates. Our biggest rally for Dogecoin, Bitcoin was during pretty relatively low interest rates. All right, Bitcoin is in a little bit of the middle of the buy block here. XRP as well. Man, Rumble. People are going to get fucked on that one. They already have. I hate it when the stock comes out and we don't see all that volume trading.
You talking about Rumble?
Yeah, the volume's not trading there.
Yeah. I ended up pulling out of it, but I didn't lose barely any, so maybe next time. I got to work on my trading, man. Like I make a lot of really good trades, but I wouldn't say necessarily my greed.
Stop loss.
To me, I just don't pay attention. Yeah, stop loss would be my number one go-to. I'm still working on it. I'm getting more confident and stuff with everything. I now just got to work on my exits.
So, someone asked about Binance. They support Luna Classic, Dolop. Be very careful about your wording. They support Luna Classic, but what they're not doing is taxing their clients on every buy and every sell, which they don't need to. It's not in the thing that was voted. The vote was for deposits and withdrawal. So it doesn't make sense to tax every single transaction on buys and sells. So I think the tax will reduce supply of Luna Classic, but at the same time, I warn people as well. You tax me, I'm probably not going to have that high trading volume. So what people did, some people held, they just hodled, but some people took profits because they don't want to get that big tax. And it's going to take a longer time for the supply to be burned. Like to burn 1 trillion Luna Classic will take significantly longer. Our trading volume fell off by over 500% compared to the time leading up before the tax till now. So volume's down significantly. I do have a YouTube poll. Do you guys think ETHW will hit $7 before 4 p.m.? You're going to vote yes or no. We already have over 70 people voted. I'll show you the ETHW chart real quick. Sorry, ETHW chart. Already at $6.30. And I think ETHW has so much volatility, there's no reason to do this on futures without stop loss. If you're going to do futures, stop loss for sure. Spot trade, you can still trade it and get pretty decent volatility. Anything that has super high volatility, like SHIB, when SHIB was running up, people kept trying to go 5 times. They would get wrecked on the candles. 20 minutes later, price is up 100%. So spot trading sometimes is the way. ETHW is climbing back up here. Woo! And while this is happening, the SPY is still downtrending. XRP, Bitcoin still inside the middle of the buy blocks here. DXY is possibly downtrending on the short time frame, but we made some higher lows for DXY. Have to consider that. On the daily, DXY still looks pretty big. But ETHW, spot trading it, I think eventually we can be at $7. Like we had this big dip here, and keep in mind, I'm going to give you this, like from here to here, this is a 5% move down. So people using 20 times would have been liquidate here. They're gone, and then now the price is higher. So people that try to buy a top here, If it goes down another 5%, eventually it would be in the perfect middle of this buy block. So be very careful about using high leverage. And now we're getting large volumes for ETHW. Woo.
Yeah, the Russell's falling again. So 165.
But yeah, seeing like this stuff with ETHW, like, whew, there's good volatility for trading. It got oversold right here, and as it got oversold, now it's overbought very fast. It only took like roughly 2 minutes to get completely overbought in 1 minute again. So if it retests again and comes down, a lot of people are definitely gonna FOMO in there. So if it comes down to like $6.07 again for ETHW, woohoo! And you see how fast it moves. Like, it's hard to catch it, like right here. People don't want to buy it when it's red. They're so scared psychologically. I recommend even changing your chart colors. If this red keeps you from buying sometimes, change your chart colors. Put it on gray. Yeah. Grayscale it.
I do orange and blue.
Mm-hmm.
I guess I can see in the red and green.
$6.40 again. We just hit that almost a double. Yeah, we touched a double top up there in the short time frame for ETHW. At the same time, we're overbought, but people spot trading this. They don't have to worry as much as futures trading. So that's a big bounce. Like from that double top, the price went down like over 1%.
I did my first live stream the other day, Tim.
Cool. Definitely, like if you doing a live stream, maybe do a live stream about working on your strategy, how you're developing your trading strategy to get better.
Yeah. It's basically what it was. It was just like a TA talk type deal. It was I got everything set up for it. Well, I really did it because I was gonna start doing because Toby doesn't. Leprechaun doesn't come on Wednesdays and Sundays, and a lot of those days one of us get in there for him, and it's just not as the viewership doesn't seem like it sustains when there's nobody's face. You know what I mean? So we're getting on there for him on his days off.
That's good. That's really good.
Trying to keep his channel going. It's been picking up a little bit better. We got like 20 people in there the other night at once, which was more than usual. Normally we're around 10, 11. It's usually the same folks, but new people every now and then.
XRP is at the top of the buy block here. Bitcoin's halfway in the middle. And DXY is still like trying to uptrend here. Bitcoin's getting a little bit of gas now, finally. And while Bitcoin's getting that gas, we're like near the double top. We're near the double top for ETHW. And we've been getting like consistent buy volume. If we break this double top and have another price floor, that's great for ETHW. That would be beautiful for ETHW. But at the same time, if people start taking profits again, then we can see the price do a little bit of dippity. But I'm going to show you up the other charts real quick. So everything's getting short-term buy signal. Oh, GameStop. Oh. So Bitcoin's even uptrending with the DXY right here. So maybe the SPY's... Oh, SPY's still downtrending, but I think it's almost out of that sell pressure. Like, we are completely oversold Completely oversold on the 5 minutes again for the SPY. 4 hours completely oversold. 5 minutes oversold. 1 hour is oversold. A daily's completely oversold. So maybe you get a little bit of bounce for the SPY, like right here. Right here. But keep in mind, global conditions can make it harder for people to even want to buy. But right here, I think people may start buying the SPY. And if they start buying the SPY, then that would make all these other positions, like Bitcoin and stuff, look good.
Did you watch the FOMC?
Nah.
So he said in there, this is a 0.75 that we just had, and he plans on making it to, what was it? Plans on making it to 4% soon. What did he say? We were at 3.8 on the funds rate, but technically, so basically, he said by year end, he would want basically either another 0.5 increase and then a 25. So that would make it
So be very specific. You keep saying point and then you say 25. That's completely
I'm sorry.
different.
I'm sorry.
Just say it in basis
Say
points.
25.
Say 25 basis points.
Yeah.
So you don't
my bad,
confuse
dude.
people, because increasing by 0.25 basis points is nothing. 25 basis points or 75 is huge. Europe increased their interest by a huge amount in a short time. That's why we had a big dip the other day. They thought it would make their dollar hold a little bit of value. It did, but it's still under 99 cents.
But don't you think if we only get another 50 basis points and then a 25 basis points, would that not be bullish going into the year end?
Not really. They're increasing the interest rate. It makes it a lot.
Well, they are increasing it for sure, but I'm just saying, because people, every time we get, like, it's not 75 or 100, we get a little bump.
Let me give you a math lesson real quick.
Yeah.
Because in American markets, real estate fuels our markets. The amount of money we can borrow depends on the value of our assets, primarily real estate. If that interest rate goes up and people start selling their houses, and less people are buying houses, then automatically there's going to be a lot less money that people can borrow. And then as that happens, some people are even liquidated on their positions.
Because they're borrowing against their homes.
So as the housing market value goes down in America, it definitely makes the market go bearish. It doesn't make us bullish, because now we have trillions of dollars that people are borrowing, and now they're not able to keep borrowing those trillions of dollars.
Because interest rates are so high.
Interest rates are so high. Exactly. Once interest rate goes too high, credit card companies, and look, if you're buying a house out there, YouTube, don't use a variable interest rate. I encourage you, if you use a variable interest rate, you're going to get wrecked, because at the beginning your interest rate is low. But then they're going to increase your interest rate, and then your housing payment goes from $1,200 up to $3,500. And you're not earning a $3,500, or you don't want to put that full $3,500 into those mortgage payments. So don't use variable interest rates. You will get wrecked on the housing market.
I'm so glad I got locked in mine. I got 3.1%.
Did you read the contract? It doesn't have the word variable in there, right?
No, it does not.
Okay.
I've had my house for 2 years now, so it's been the same.
And if you're buying a house and you're doing loan, usually you want those terms to be very favorable. If they're not favorable to you, the people now that are buying a $350,000 house with the current interest rate, their monthly payment for that $350,000 house is the same as the people that locked in their interest rate last year for a $600,000 house. So look, the people last year got a house double the value, and now they are paying way cheaper payments than a person that has a $300,000 house now because of the higher interest rates. Same thing, Bitcoin. People borrowed money to buy Bitcoin, and they borrowed that money when the interest rates were low. Now, as the interest rates are higher, less new people are willing to put money down on a loan, use their home as collateral, if the price of interest is increasing. Like I don't want to put my house up for collateral if I think I'm going to be able to borrow less money.
Right. I paid, what did I pay? I borrowed like 164 for mine, I think, and then I put.
Basically,
I put
this chart
30
right here
something else.
validates every point we've been talking about. The people are putting their money, like dollars, US dollars specifically for the fiat. Less people are selling euro, they're buying US dollar. They're selling Japanese yen, buying US dollar. In some cases, they are selling Chinese yuan, buying dollars. Filipino pesos, buying dollars. Dollars, since we have the full faith of the United States government and we're the number one country in terms of monetary policy, capitalism, people generally go to that. So think about the US dollar as a cryptocurrency. We are very transparent with the amount of money we print. We don't pass weird laws that says that your money is going to expire in 5 years. You can't use it in 5 years. People can use dollar bills from like 80 years ago if they really wanted to. But the thing is, like, those things are worth more value. So, US dollars, people like to flock to US dollars if they think markets are turning bearish.
The SPY looks like it's finding another low.
And then like the nuclear threats and stuff too, that makes it a lot more bearish for the market. So sometimes these technicals cannot even play out. YouTube chat, someone says Russia's holding nuclear power plant in Ukraine. Yeah, I mean, it's
The SPY is pretty low.
yeah, it's brutal. So a lot of people, if somebody wants to sell on the sideline right now, because look at DXY, just got another big push up, like giant push up for DXY.
God.
And I think this thing's going to go up to at least 130 sits. And
yeah, I'm just gonna chill. I'm not gonna be buying anything.
If Bitcoin follows this trend with DXY, we'll be at that $10,800 Bitcoin price by the time this thing goes to
130.
136. So
136 is your mark.
Yeah, I think about 136, and then the government will definitely step in there. We have tools at our disposal. They don't want to say it on TV, but they have tools at their disposal. Jerome Powell loves to say, the tools we have are the tools we have. He should say that while sitting in front of a money printer. But
what gives you your 136 target?
So the 136 compared to like how much dollars that America printed versus euro, and then by that time at 136, it's a breaking point. People are going to be satisfied with their bond yields, as the treasury yields. They're going to be satisfied. So at that point, things are so overbought. Probably people not selling as much or buying as much. Volume is going to decrease. It'll go a little bit sideways, and then DXY would calm down. Just need like 24 more points, which would be brutal. And I think these buy blocks are, like I said, these are going to all be invalidated today if the SPY continues the downtrend. SPY's even getting more sell pressure here. So this whole weekend, I think over weekend we'll get more Russian news. And Bitcoin's going to be that leading indicator since the stock market's closed over the weekend. So if we get bad news when market closes today, like if a CEO or something comes out, like what FedEx did last week, then Bitcoin is going to feel that pain first while the market's closed. And then Monday morning, people already know that those stocks are going to start feeling that pain as well. So,
yeah.
Hey, Tim, I just got on. Sorry. Hey, Tim, I just got on real quick. Do you know Powell's talking at 2, right?
About what?
It's on the Forex Factory calendar. Powell, 2 p.m.
He's what?
I don't know. Powell, the Fed chair, is going to have a speech at 2 p.m. Eastern, and it's marked red on the Forex Factory calendar.
Okay, yeah,
Really?
I see it. It says it's just transitioning to the post-pandemic economy. So he's talking about how we're no longer in the pandemic. And it's very interesting because some government agencies are trying to request funds, quoting that we're in a pandemic. But our president went on the news the other day, so we're not in a pandemic. And then we have Jerome Powell coming out saying that we're in a post-pandemic economy as well.
Okay, cool. All right, thanks, Tim.
funny how the White House came out right after that and started denying it, or trying to cover for what he said.
But here's the thing, like when you have people like Jerome Powell and other like governors, like he's not a governor, but when we have governors come out and say that we're also post-pandemic, like they're trying to get that market sentiment up. And I know they're trying to get market sentiment up, but at the same time, the people that want these funds are getting crushed.
Oh, there's 364 on the SPY.
I mean,
one more, team. Hey, Tim, one more for you. Biden got his $80 oil. If you look at the price of oil, CL. 77 right now.
did he buy it though, or is it?
I don't know. Yeah, no, good point. I don't know.
So Bitcoin's touching the bottom of the buy block here. XRP moves a little bit faster than Bitcoin, a lot more volatility, so would break. It's got about an hour 30, but basically the Fed, it's Fed listens. I talked about this the other day. For the Fed listens, they're basically, we were joking about it too. They're just bringing people on and letting them give their story about what they think about the economy, and they're pulling people from different sectors. But man, DXY.
Yep, DXY is ripped, man.
I noticed the 2-year was at 4.18%.
ETHW like got rejected at that double top. It's coming down as well. Like if I was trading right now, like I already took profits earlier, but if I was trading right now, my strategy would be probably waiting if I don't need to use a very tight stop loss. If I entered any position, like if I entered Bitcoin on spot, I would set my stop loss exactly at my entry, just in case it didn't get that momentum, because we're bearish. So if I was going to go long, set that stop loss, or I would short it and then set stop loss as well. But everything looks like it could be coming down.
Yeah, it looks like that reversal is not trying to reverse.
What's up, Drew?
No, we had the
What?
reversal. We had a pump up and then it started downturning again. Definitely like not the full like daily reversal or anything. It's just short-term reversals. People made a lot of scalps during that time.
Yeah, it did have a nice little move up.
We saw stuff like XRP, ETHW move up